Namaste and welcome to this exciting new episode of Sattology, debunking mythology. Sattology means science of truth, the study of truth. Opposite of that is mythology, which means science or study of fake, lie, or imagination. People who don't know about fasting talk about fasting. We have heard it so many times, and especially in the Western audience, we've seen very shallow understanding of fasting, power fasting, and all kinds of fasting they talk about. But they don't talk about fasting from things which we should not eat or drink. And also how fasting needs to be done and what is the effect of fasting and what is the purpose of fasting also. Like most of us observe Ekadashi. Like I have been observing Ekadashi for a very long time. And it is sufficient once in 15 days. And there are many other days of fasting. So we'll learn all about it from Ashwini Sahasrabudhe. So let's welcome Ashwini ji to the show. Namaskar.
नमस्कार नमस्कार आदित्य जी.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
जय जगदम्ब.
Jai Jagadamba.
Let's take a neutral, yeah.
Jai Jagadamba is our mother.
Okay.
So absolutely, Jai Jagadamba.
Nobody should have a problem there.
Nobody has a problem. But Jagadamba, will have a problem? If there is no Jagadamba, then how can we live here?
Exactly.
Yeah, there is no problem. 100%. Jagadamba is our divine mother.
Mm.
So, and also Shivji, our divine father, because
Yes.
without Shivji and Jagadamba, we cannot sustain our own life.
Shiva
So,
and Shakti.
Shiva and Shakti, Shiva and Parvati. So, today, with that auspicious note, we begin.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, you know, so there is an English word called break fast.
Yes.
वैसे English is a very funny language in any way. हम लोग व्रत बोलते हैं, व्रत रखते हैं, व्रत is the more better word. So if Americans and British and other people are watching, then vrat, V-R-A-T, I know it's a tongue twister, but you should use the word vrat instead of fasting, because fast just means fast.
Mm.
We don't like fast food too. So why to have fasting? Okay, before we begin, so just tell us the spiritual side of fasting, because
Mm.
it's important to know. Otherwise, we have so many motivational speakers in USA talking about fasting, and oftentimes they separate fasting from the spiritual needs of the soul.
Mm.
So tell us the whole thing about fasting so that we can connect in a holistic way.
Okay. So that's right. Actually, when we talk of health, Aditya ji, we think it's only physical health or health of the body. That's what normally people would think. But health, we should divide into mana, buddhi, sharir. That is mind, intellect, body, as well as adhyatma. That is spiritual health. And each one of them is interlinked. So it is not that, you can achieve one and then not take care of the other. So both, all four are required to have a completely healthy mind and body and intellect and spiritual journey. So the way, that is what our scriptures also talk of. The way I started is, about 5 years ago, somewhere in July 2018, I came across a video which talked about intermittent fasting. That is, eat just twice a day by Doctor. He's a Nagpur doctor. I forget his name, but I'll get it. I'll get it soon. I heard him for about 2 hours, and I was pretty convinced that that's a way to start, because we have a lot of mental blocks, like I cannot do without breakfast, or I cannot do without a coffee in the morning, or I just need my tea and a snack in the morning. So I felt the need to break it, because if you're a Bhagavad Gita student as well as I am, and we know Kurmo Gnani Va Sarvashaha, where Krishna says that we need to control our desires, just as a tortoise withdraws, is able to withdraw his entire limbs. So we need to withdraw from our senses. So I thought, let me start with this intermittent fasting. So that's how one fine day I just switched to eating just 2 meals a day. Now mentally it was difficult. Oh, will I be able to sustain without my morning tea? But when I actually did it, it was no big deal. So that gave me my first lesson, that all we have is a mental block. The body adjusts. So the body doesn't take time to adjust, and we need to just prepare our mind to start any kind of a fast. So that's how my journey of intermittent fasting started. And of course, while growing up being a Hindu Indian, we have all seen all kind of pratas or the fast that our parents used to keep, say Somvar ka fast and Monday fast and Saturday fasts and Ekadashi fast, Mahashivratri fast, etc. But those used to be fast where you eat something different than your regular food, not like a fast. So coming back to my journey, which started 5 years ago, so intermittent fasting continued for about, it still continues. I still eat twice a day. And so one mental block of that, I need my morning tea, I need my breakfast, went away with that fast. And the best thing about fasting is you need to read what it does to you, which is what I did. I read, I heard people, I read a lot about it. And as Patanjali says, tatra sthitau yatno abhyasa. Actually, being in that state is how you study it, not by reading. So, for example, if one wants to learn swimming, one can read 100 books on swimming, but unless you start swimming, you will not know how to do it. What are the positives? What are the negatives of swimming? So I decided, let me jump into the water. Let me start the fasting journey. So the fasting started 3 years into intermittent fasting. I, of course, a lot of benefits which we can talk of later after I complete my journey. Then I thought I also have been, so that is Dr. Dikshit, by the way. The talk that I had heard was Dr. Jagannath Dikshit of Nagpur. And I want to tell the audience, I'm not a doctor, or I'm not a certified, a person who can talk about authentically about fast. I'm a person who has actually done it, who has actually practiced it. So word of caution is, please, if you have any condition, please consult your physician before start any kind of fast. So going forward, I also read that so started with the notion that we need to eat 3 to 4 times a day. That mental block went away with, oh, I can do it twice, 2 times, two meals a day. Then also I read where our rishis in the past used to survive on fruits and boiled vegetables, or eating just once a day. So I thought, why not try eating just once a day? So last couple of years, I moved to eating just one cooked meal a day. And one meal was, so of the 2 meals that I eat, one meal is cooked food, a normal food, which is dal, rice, roti, sabji, and one meal is only fruits. So my afternoon meal is just fruits and nuts. And so essentially, cooked meal is just once a day. And that's what I've been doing for the last over 2 years now. So intermittent fasting started with that. Then 2 years has been with just one meal a day. And what I stumbled upon, so I have been also reading about water fasting. My husband Nilesh has been used to do water fasts initially, few years ago, pretty regularly, but there was a break in it because of lifestyle and traveling, etc. So I told him, why not let's start this water fasting on a regular basis, which is fast for 36 hours with only water. So we decided a day, we decided let it be a Wednesday where we do a fast. Why? Because weekdays, that was a like little lighter day for us, and weekends are a bit, you have to socialize and people come over, you need to travel, etc. So we decided, let's do a water fast on a Wednesday. So what we started doing is, over the last 1 year, every Tuesday evening we have our dinner at about 6, and the next meal we have is on a Thursday morning at 6 o'clock. So in between Tuesday evening 6 to Thursday morning 6, it's only water. So that's what we call it, a 36-hour water fast. And that also has got tremendous benefits. I would urge the audience to read about it. Of course, we will discuss it in the talk later on, but that's how my journey started. So the intermittent fasting gave away my mental block. The fruit fast, that eating once a day, gave me that's a lesson I learned, that we don't need so much food. Our body actually doesn't need. Nowhere did I feel low on energy. My running, my aerobics have continued. The water fasting actually started my spiritual, like I have always been into japa and devi bhakti right from my childhood, and more so in the last 20 years. But the water fast actually fast tracked my spiritual journey, where I got a lot of beautiful experiences of Devi Ma during my water fasts. So that's where the sharir and the probably the intellect were taken care of by intermittent and by the one meal a day fast, but the spiritual progress kind of was getting helped now is getting helped now by my water fasts, weekly water fasts. So now it's been a year now, almost I've done 50 water fasts, and now we'll be traveling for a couple of months, so maybe we'll take a break, but again plan to continue it and make it a lifestyle for the rest of my life. So that's my journey on fasting. So over to you, Aditya ji.
No, very good points you said. Now I'll a little bit go deeper into that, because the oftentimes the fasting in the West ignores the spiritual aspect of it,
Yeah.
where the spiritual aspect of fasting is generally ignored, because there is no spirituality, because it's all dogmatic society. So we all know they work in the belief world, make believe, I believe, and we say I know. So it's the difference there. When you know, you don't have to believe. When you believe, you don't know. So it's like that. So they believe, and they back it up with scientific research. And scientific research always follows the knowledge, which doesn't follow the belief. And all the medical doctors have said good things about fasting. But in India, it has been a traditional concept. India, Native Americans, native populations of South America, Mesoamerica, and actual name is Pushkar Dweep. The Pushkar Dweep is the residents of Pushkar Dweep or Mesoamerica have the fasting built into their culture. The only in Europe, this culture was destroyed. And in the history in Ramayana and Mahabharata, we read that the fasting was an important part of the European native culture also. We have seen in the case of Romani people. Romani people don't eat when they visit the Sarai Kali and the Black Sara. Black Sara is nothing but Durga Devi. In South France, people can go and visit, currently occupied by the Roman Catholicism Church. And so that is a place of Durga Puja, like Jai Jagdamba. So the Jagdamba right there in Europe. She's the deity of Europe. And so she is worshipped there, and the fasting was a common thing. Romans used to fast for sun. And the Greeks before them were also fasting for sun. So how do you connect fasting to vrata, and how vrata is different than fasting?
So as you rightly said, every place connects it to something, like to sun. Now here I think the concept of Dvaita and Advaita will come, because for a common person it's very difficult to, like, on your own suddenly decide, okay, I'm going to start fasting. So in the previous times, like especially women used to do a lot of vrata. Somvar, Monday vrat, Tuesday vrat, Thursday vrat, Saturday vrat, Friday vrat for Devi. So kind of a guilt was also pulled, I think, because if you don't do it, oh, they would say, oh, the god will be angry with you. So in some sense, for a common man to be able to overcome this, how do I just start fasting, they linked it to some deity or some planet or something. That's what I think. But if you come to the Advaita concept, it is just as it is easy for us to worship a form, a photo, a statue. You can easily worship a Jesus statue rather than just worshipping some divine consciousness. That similarly, every fast or every vrata was related or tagged to some deity, some planet, sun, moon, or whatever, Devi or Shiva or Ganpati, Lord Ganesh, etc. I think that is the main reason. I mean, that is vrat, where you link it to a deity, which makes it easier for a person, because then you kind of have a purpose, rather than just fasting because you want to kind of evolve in a spiritual journey. And of course, while wanting to evolve in the spiritual journey, the benefits to your body and mind are there, they don't go anywhere. You will keep getting them, you will keep reducing weight, or your vitals will keep improving, your cholesterols and things like that. Or this intermittent fasting, Dr. Dikshit claims to have reversed diabetes because of that. So it is very well known for reversing diabetes. our medical doctors may not prescribe fasting. They may say, no, you need to eat because you're on pills or you're on tablets or you're on medication. But honestly, there are, I believe, clinics in California where terminal patients, whom the medical doctors have given upon, they are put on a fast under observation by a doctor itself for a 30-day water fast, a 60-day water fast, and they have actually started to live again normal life. They have been recovered, completely of the disease that they've had, like cancer patients, diabetes patients, autoimmune disease patients. So that is a true benefit. But yes, what has also happened is previously I do remember, like, for example, my mother fasting on a Monday without eating anything the entire day. But as we started fasting, we had a lot of goodies, to fast on. We had a lot of potato stuff and khichdi, and that was not real fasting. That was in fact overeating. So vrata is one side, and actual fasting is, I think, another purpose and another level, is what I think.
So one of the things when you talk about apne vrata ke bare mein, you told about vrata, which
Hmm.
is done for a purpose or a deity and to please them. Like Ekadashi Vrat is considered
Yeah.
one of the topmost vrata.
Top-
Topmost, everyone can do that. Like if
Even
you just remember, yeah,
even Somvar ka vrata. Sola
so
Somvar, that is Monday, or like my parents used to fast every Monday for their entire life, like
yeah,
Shiva Vrata. Yeah.
yeah, people can choose. I mean, not Durga just passed. People can choose to fast, and the Prime Minister of India fasts on that day.
Yes.
So on 9 days, in fact, all the meetings he attends only with water.
Yes.
And in fact, he strictly observes it, eats one time. I don't know how he eats. I don't have the schedule, so I cannot say on that. But at least I've observed him. And for many years, we have observed him doing that. So people
Yeah.
who are inspired by him can do that. People who are not inspired by him, there are a lot of guru and acharyas there, Ram Bhadracharya, Ram and Swami Nishalanandji, and so many great sannyasis, Chinnajir Swamiji. And there are many great sannyasis in India who also follow this vrata. And but
And
the,
sorry to interrupt you. And Aditya ji, I hear this one thing very common. People tell me whenever I meet, like in my Bhagavad Gita class or any other, social gathering with Nilesh, that we are not religious, but we are spiritual. And to those people, I say that means you don't do anything. That means you're nothing, because they don't want to read anything. They just want to show that they are modern, that they are not religious. They don't want to associate themselves as a Hindu, or as a Hindu practitioner. But I'm spiritual, which means that I think they don't know nothing. They know nothing.
actually, they don't know what they're talking
Yes.
because spiritual means yoga, and yoga means you are a Hindu. If you're religious, that means you're a Brahmic. So
Yes.
so they don't know what they're talking
They
actually.
don't know what they're talking.
Yeah, but it's okay. I accept the sentiments. You are a yogi, and there is a very common misconception also that spirituality means do whatever you want, just close your eyes and just transcend and up. So there is my book there, and Yoga Sutra. Nilesh told me to discuss with you on Yoga Sutra because you are very good in that. So we'll
Mhm.
discuss on that too. I've given you my book also, Transcending the Mind. So उसमें मैंने translate किया है in a very exact way every Sanskrit shloka and gave
Yeah.
a commentary from Bhagavad Puran, so people will appreciate that. And very popular now, almost like 11,000 yoga schools in USA are reading that book now,
Mm.
which will, and it has all the mantra from Jagdamba to Shiva to whatever mantra they want to do, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All of them connect to you. So now we touched a little more deeper topic now, connecting to the deity. So the Western world has created imaginary deities, like Christianism has created 12. They replaced 12 Olympians with 12 Pope. This is Catholicism. Christianism is different,
Mhm.
and they have created something with their own imagination about God based on theology. Theology means they are still trying to find God. And in Vedas, we already start with Aham Brahmasmi. We are in the same nature of Brahma, and we start there. Our basic premise is Brahma is Bhagwan. You know, Brahma iti Paramatma iti Bhagwan iti Shabdate. So we start from there. So we start with Bhagwan, and they start with let us search. So the whole Western Abrahamic books are based on Middle Eastern Abrahamic books are based on that. So how do they connect with the real vrata? not fasting. Fasting, like even a dog can do fasting. Dog can do fasting for 2 days. My dog can live without food for a whole night, and he has more patience than many human beings. He won't ask for food, but he will stay there. Dhanush will always be happy, and he has energy. So how do you connect the two?
So you actually, when you said that animals can fast better, the reason is they actually listen to their body. We do not listen to our bodies. We just listen to the parameters. Oh, you need to have breakfast. You need to have lunch. We need to have
No,
evening
that's a bad programming by the doctors.
by the
Oh, you
doctor.
need to get up and eat. Not everybody's body is made up like that. Like
No,
I cannot
nobody.
eat in the morning.
Actually, nobody's body. If you read, like if we read, I mean, you're an expert actually in Patanjali Yoga or even other scriptures, even Bhagavad Gita. It's we have to be able to control our desires, and we have to. The eating part is, we shouldn't live to eat. I mean, we should eat just to be able to live and sustain. And like vrata or fasting. So for me, fasting is also a vrat. Like a water fast that I do is a vrat. And you said na aham brahmasmi. Like in Marathi, we have this saying, "Je pindi te brahmandi." What is in us is in the universe out there. So the divine consciousness that is within us is is out there, which is at Ishwar, which is at undivided primordial consciousness that we are not able to see, feel, or touch. So we give it some swarup in the form of Devi or Ganesh or Shiva or Vishnuji or Krishna, and do vrata kind of for them, for pleasing them, to get their ashirvad or to get their blessings. So that is vrata. And Westerners, I'm not a student of Western religion or anything. So I wouldn't be able to comment much on how Westerners do their vrata. But of course, they have their, as growing up, I studied in a mission school actually, where I was surrounded with a lot of Christian friends in India, back in India. And they did have their days where they would not eat non-veg. So they had certain dedicated days that non-veg would be only on Sunday, for example, which is gone by the way now. Now I see Christians, everybody eating anything, any hour of the day or night. So, but I remember my friends' parents used to observe Vrata on days, like Wednesdays, we'll eat only this. It's only dal rice, or it's only, whatever their books told them to do. And they were pretty strict about this. Absolutely no non-veg on a Tuesday, on a Friday, or on a Monday. They did those kind of vratas, which I'm not sure whether it is being followed today by my friends' parents, for example, because my friends and their parents did follow it, but my friends' children, I'm not sure whether they do that. There is no such concept now remaining, I think, back home in India about vrata and things like that. I don't even see Hindu children, of my son follows a vrata. He is a Shiva Bhakta. So he does a Shivalinga puja every day, but on his own. But his friends of his age group, I don't see them kind of conscious of the fact that you need to give rest to your body, in the name of the god, at least in the name of a devi, in the name of any bhagwan. But that consciousness is reducing or lost, I can say.
Actually, to motivate the youth,
Hmm.
uh, adults have to follow a better lifestyle.
Yes,
I never blame the children because it's the adults are at fault. Uh, you know,
absolutely.
I don't eat after 6 p.m. You know the schedule, my schedule. I don't
Yes,
eat after 6 p.m.
yes, yeah.
and I eat only after sunrise.
Hmm.
Simple rules. After
Hmm.
sunrise, before sunset, and all the dinner needs to be done. And you maintain a very perfectly healthy body. I reversed my diabetes. I reversed my everything. Like I had almost on the verge of type 2, but I am
Yeah.
no longer now diabetic. My blood
Hmm.
pressure is normal. My cholesterol is normal. Simple changes in the lifestyle. And and earlier, even while living in the devotional community,
Hmm.
I was completely obese. I was eating too much ghee, butter, and eating at irregular intervals because I thought that the uh, Bhagwan, the devotional service, bhakti, will solve everything, but didn't happen.
Hmm.
I was getting, and then I started studying the life of the acharyas.
Hmm.
Hanumanji, perfect health. Bhagwan Ram, perfect health. Krishna Bhagwan, perfect health. Perfect body, perfect health. Arjun, five Pandavas, perfect
Hmm.
health.
Hmm.
And everyone was doing Vyayam,
Yeah.
everyone was doing asana. All our acharyas are fit. Chinnajir Swami, if he's hearing, uh, amazing health, good health he maintains. And Madhvacharya, perfect health. Adi Sankaracharya, perfect health. Ramanuja, perfect health.
So
And
they followed the Ashtanga Yoga, right? Yama, Niyama, Pratyahar, Pranayam, Asana, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. So they were followers of Yoga Sutra, Patanjali, Maharishi
important,
Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, which we
Patanjali,
are not. We are not in this world.
Patanjali is such a amazing work, Yoga Sutra. If you read
Mhm.
it carefully, and that he picks up a person from the street and brings up the Ishwar Pranidhan,
Pranam.
topmost.
Yes.
Like Kevalya Pad, if you read,
Hmm.
like after Vibhuti Pad, like starts with the Samadhi Pad,
Hmm.
and then
Sadhana.
yeah, and then takes us to the topmost.
Hmm.
And anybody can follow that and just follow. You don't have to read. People are going for goat yoga, cow
Hmm.
yoga. Don't do all this drama. Because if you're doing the
Definitely.
drama, that means you're actually misusing yoga. And in America, asana is called yoga, which is not correct. Asana is separate. Yoga is separate. Yoga you can do. I see most of the times I hear from people is that, oh, you need to have flexible body for yoga. No, you don't
No.
need anything for yoga. Just yoga is completely different. You can be eating halwa puri 24/7, still being yogi.
Yes.
You can be fighting on a battlefield. You can be a yogi. You can be a teacher, be a yogi. It's a totally different concept. Asana is different. Asana,
And
sitam, sukham, sthiram, asanam.
Brahmasana. Yeah.
You know? So, no, that is a misconception for the American audience and the Western audience who is listening. So please don't call asana as yoga. Call your institutes as asana, San Diego Asana Academy. No, and Yoga Alliance should be called Asana Alliance, not Yoga Alliance. I'm totally believe me, people who are paying to Yoga Alliance, please stop doing it. They are
Hmm.
not bona fide. And in fact, there is a new group run by Vibhuti ji and other people authorized by the Indian government. Is called Universal Consciousness Alliance. And Sattology will work with them very closely. And I've already told Vibhuti ji also. So we will work on that. So now coming to these points which I made, what is your view?
So, like you said, yoga. What does Patanjali say about yoga? It is chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is where the chitta finally is able to meet our atma. That is where the yoga is found. It's a yuja. It's a joining. So when the mana or chitta, let mana, which is mind, which is a loose translation actually, meets the atma, meets our spirit. That is also again a very loose translation in English. That is when a yoga is formed. It has nothing to do with asana. Asana, as you rightly said, is has to be sukha and asthira. It has to be comfortable and it has to be steady. That is how that much asana is enough. We don't need to do all kinds of vague asanas to be able to achieve a yoga. Yoga is nothing but chitta vritti nirodha, where the vrittis, that is our tendencies, we are able to kind of have overpower them. Where normally our tendencies, our pancha jnanendriya, pancha karmendriya, that is the bodily, the senses, they try to go out. That is a vritti. These are the tendencies. With yoga, we have to try to curb them, bring it inward. That is what is yoga. And for that yoga, fasting is an extremely important tool. I mean, a basic sense of eating taste, if we are not able to even control that, how are we going to achieve yoga when we need to control so many desires, all the 10 desires, the karmendriyas and the jnanendriyas, the cognitive senses and the I think what is the jnanendriyas are the
Knowledge sense, knowledge gathering senses, knowledge
yeah,
gathering senses.
the material senses, you can say, or the mechanical senses, where you move and you hold and those kind of senses, and the pancha jnanendriya, which is the cognitive senses. Those need to be controlled to be able to achieve the yoga. And nirodha doesn't mean stopping. Nirodha means curbing it to such an extent to make it useful. So you imagine rain is happening, there's a downpour of rain and the water is just flowing and it is waste. But if you are able to collect water in a in a pond, the water can be better used, right? That is how we should be able to collect our desires, control them, so that we can use ourselves in a better fashion, our own body in a better fashion. It is not just stopping everything. I'm not saying fast forever and you just don't stop eating. That is not the point. To be able to control that one desire is the point. And one should, as you said, people should read about it. What is a, for example, I'm now an advocate of water fasting because I've been there for a year. I've done that. I've experienced the negatives of it, the positives of it also. So things like autophagy, things like detoxification. We have this keto diet. There's no need to eat something to get into ketosis. Just don't eat and you will be get into keto diet by stopping to eat. That is something one will know. That is, audience will know if they read about it. People have to read. Unless you read, you will not be able to like kind of relate to what we are talking here. What Aditya ji is talking, what I am talking. So reading is extremely essential. Reading, the Indians especially can go and read Yoga Sutra, can read so many scriptures on fasting. Ayurveda is there. So which Ayurveda also talks of fasting. So does Bhagavad Gita talk of fasting. Kurma Gnani Va Sarvasha is what? Actually, if you read Yoga Sutra, every point you will think, oh, this is Bhagavad Gita. Oh, this is Abhyasena tu Kaunteya. Abhyas and Vairagya that Krishna talks of. Patanjali also talks of the same, Abhyas and Vairagya. How to do it? Dirgha Kalena and Nirantara for a long time. So quick fix is not possible.
No, actually, Patanjali teaches us to how to follow Bhagavad Gita very properly.
Yeah.
Very nice. Like there is no difference. Like if you read Patanjali Yoga Sutra, you'll still attain the same objective of Bhagavad Gita. But if you follow it, you'll become a better student of Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita.
Because
Absolutely.
it connects everything, synergizes.
Yeah.
And I would say the people in India especially sue the company which put the condom name as Nirod. Sue that company. Because they sue that company because they put a lawsuit against them for misusing yogic term for something else, completely different, something else. And I think that was a ploy, I think, to stop using yoga terms in, I don't know what was the conspiracy at that time, or some creative idiot from marketing agency came up with that term. Sue them because Nirod is a yogic term, and which she quoted the Patanjali Sutra, which is the second one, I think.
Yes.
And the second sutra, which is there from yoga. Now, coming back to the fasting part of it. Yeah, you're saying something, yes.
Yeah, just one more thing.
Yes.
Also, Aditya ji, so you are a Krishna devotee, I'm a Devi devotee, and we have been doing japa sadhana for as long as we know, right? So I would tell the audience that mantra japa will also help you do fasting because you've kind of gained some kind of a mental strength by doing japa.
मैं आपको वहां पे रोकूंगा थोड़ा सा. गोपेंद्र रस्य अनुज ज्येष्ठे नंद गोप कुलोद्भवे means I am devotee of all devta.
All devtas.
Yes,
Same here.
all devtas and Devi.
Same.
Because if you see the Jagdamba from the point of view of Shastra, and I've read the Mahadevi Puran, like she's everything in a way. So in our experience, she's a supreme deity here also. Yes, please continue.
Yeah. So yes, correct. So we are worshippers of all devatas because we believe in the divine consciousness, because we know somewhere Ishwar is there, that consciousness is one, and these are the forms that we have only manifested for our own ease of sadhana or bhakti. So but however, we focus, each one of us based on our natural tendency will focus on one deity. For example, based on my natural tendency, I get drawn towards Devi Bhakti. So I do Devi Bhakti. So Japa is something that I've also been doing for, started from childhood, but focused Japa last 15 years, you can say. And Japa gives a kind of mental strength to be able to sustain the side effects, you can say, of water fast, for example. Water fast, typically one will end up getting a headache. Even after doing 50 water fast, on the 51st, there is no guarantee that I will not get a headache. But one has become strong, like I have become strong because of my japa sadhana for hours. And secondly, also knowing, because I've read so much on fasting, I know the very fact I'm getting a headache means my body is cleansing. It is detoxifying. all the toxins are getting released and they will go out of my body. So it is a happy moment, whatever that little bit of headache that one can get for some time. It can be for 10 minutes, for 1 hour or 2 hours. Eventually it reduces and then you don't feel anything, yet you feel normal. Like there is a stage now that after 36 hours, I can just continue, be like that without food. And one can continue. We don't do it because, we don't want to give mixed signals to the body also. For being able to continue longer, I will have to give those signals to the body and train the body and the mind to know now that, okay, for the next 72 hours, I will not be getting anything. Now the mind knows that, and the body knows for the next 36 hours, there is going to be nothing. So the training is important because body will keep reacting. Once trained, it will know when to expect food and when not to expect. So a lot depends on the mind, and the mind needs to be strengthened with a mantra japa. So japa sadhana is equally important for being able to sustain this fasting and its so-called side benefits, which actually are not negative. These are positives. Your body is getting healed. It's getting cured, and so for example. I had a few guy-like issues, before I started this water fast, and all of them one by one. There was not much. I didn't have much of a problem, anyways. But whatever little discomfort I had, everything vanished with my water fast. Like it's, no, I have no such issues any. That is just one benefit that I got. But people who have problems will definitely benefit. Of course, if they should consult a physician because Aditya, you and me are not physicians, and we shouldn't kind of blatantly say go and do it. Let them read, let them ask somebody, a proper consultant, and let them start doing it.
And I'll urge the American decision makers to my appeal, humble appeal, request to make Ayurveda an important part of American medical practice. And the American medical practice follow Indian example. India has an Ayush ministry, which legalizes 7 types of medical systems, including homeopathy. Homeopathy is also banned in USA. And so for homeopathy medicines, people have to go from San Diego to Mexico. For them, it's easier, just travel 10 miles and they're in Mexico. And but I will urge them to do that because more and more Americans are seeking help on aromatherapy, naturopathy, Ayurveda. And Ayurveda is the mother of everything. It completely involves everything. In fact, the food is known as Aushadhi, Somo Bhutva Rasatmaka. Ushnami Aushadhi, Sarva Somo Bhutva Rasatmaka. Aushadhi, food is called Aushadhi. The food itself is a medicine. And more Americans are taking turmeric tablets. Instead of turmeric tablets and making fun of Indians with a yellow curry, because if you don't take turmeric, you'll need doctors. So make turmeric. So stop making fun of Indians and start taking turmeric instead of putting turmeric as an additional pill that people take. And it's so expensive, and that too not good quality in American stores. When they ask me, some of my friends, they ask me, get us some turmeric, and I get them from an Indian store because we know what it look like and how it tastes. We know the earthy smell of the thing. And also people, if you are living near my house, and then I have turmeric plants, I can give you turmeric fresh one, which you can put it.
So in short, you're saying that do not make medicines or tablets your food, make your food your medicine.
Yes.
So eat in such a way that is medicinal in itself.
Exactly. Why you have to take separate medicine for something? In medicine also putting through the mouth or injection, food also putting through your mouth, and sometimes in emergency you have to cut here. So but anyway, but food is still going here. So we have to just make our food as medicine, like regulate it to such an extent that you don't need anything. Now, this is also kind of fasting, also regulating food, eating habits.
Yes. Any kind of niyam, so that is niyam, right? The second niyam is fasting. Bring a like a structured plan to what you eat is fasting. So even if it is like a 14-hour fasting, actually people ask me, so how do I prepare myself for a 36-hour? Because for them it's very difficult even to think, oh, so no breakfast, then no lunch, no dinner, and then just next day. So how do you prepare? So I say go slow. Don't decide, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do. Prepare yourself for 2 to 3 years at least before you get into the 36-hour mode. Because start with a 14-hour fast. You have early dinner at 6, before sunset. and then just have brunch at 11. So start that way. Get your body, make that as your lifestyle. Let your body get used to, and your mind get used to that. Okay, I'm not going to be eating for these 15 hours. Start like that. Then from 15, you may go to 20. Do that for a year and see that whether that, not every day, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, the 20 hours. Every day will not work, possibly because we have jobs and we have off travel and this, so it may not work. But okay, twice a week I'll do a 20-hour fast. So do make that as a lifestyle for a year. Then go to a 24-hour fast. Okay, once a week I will do a 24-hour fast. So eka bhukta, which is a sign of a rishi. So eat once a day. Make that as your lifestyle. Once in a week, I will just eat once a day. Then after 3 or 4 years of that, go for the 36-hour fast. Then you can try to do it once in a month, once in a week, whatever suits you. So just don't jump, because then with the side effects, you will get scared. Somebody the other day asked me, how do you keep yourself motivated to do it once a week? In fact, now it is the other way. If we do not fast a particular Wednesday, I feel restless. That is my problem. I want to fast now. So it becomes the other way. You don't want to miss it then. There's no question of motivation. We're completely other way motivated. We want to do it. That kind of a mental setup happens. Eventually, it takes time. It doesn't happen on day one. Day one, you will have problems, but eventually, yes, you'll start seeing and enjoying the benefits of it. Spiritually, physically, mentally, intellectually also. You can concentrate so well when you're on a 36-hour fast. Your level of concentration is heightened.
So how do people integrate fasting and make it a vrata for a deity? Because people are running in a dogmatic world. People have to be told what they need to be done. And Americans are very good in telling everybody,
Yeah.
except themselves. Okay. They want to tell everybody. They want to give lecture to India. They want to give lecture to everyone. And most of the motivational speakers in America, they're so, I would rather say, plagiarizing philosophy, ancient philosophy, and also giving advice when it is not needed. That's the problem of dogmatism, because in dogmatism you don't follow, you just tell others to follow. So but the yoga people, the yoga philosophy people who follow yoga or Sanatan Dharma, nothing, it's the same meaning, where they like to practice and tell others through example. So, you know, Ashwini ji is a practitioner. I am a practitioner. I'm not as good practitioner as Ashwini ji, but Ashwini ji is a better practitioner. So how do you tell people to convert the fasting into vrata?
So let's come to here. We can take, so many people, even Westerners, I think they all follow astrology. If not basic, they follow their sun signs, right? So everybody has a sun sign, everybody has a moon sign or an ascendant sign. So I would suggest, like I tell my clients, suppose your moon sign is Taurus, whose lord is Devi, so Vrishabha Devi. So make Shukravar as your fast day and worship her in your mind while you're fasting. Do a japa of Devi while you're fasting. Suppose your moon sign is Karka or Cancer, which means whose lord is moon. Make Monday as your day of fast. Let Monday be your day when you fast. It can be your just one day fast. It doesn't have to be always 36 hours, but whatever vrata you decide. You decide, okay, I'm going to have only one meal on all Mondays. For example, if your moon sign is a Monday, is a Cancer. Suppose your moon sign is let's say Aries. If you're an Arian by moon sign or by sun sign, the lord of that sign is Mars, so which is a Tuesday. So make Tuesday, which is also a day of Lord Ganesh, or you just keep it as a Tuesday because that's my moon sign and let me worship that planet, and decide that I will eat only once a day on that day, every week. Every Tuesday I will eat just once, or whatever kind is possible to begin with for you, or I will skip breakfast every Tuesday. And that is how you convert it into a vrata, because vrata, the very meaning of the word vrata means continuous. It cannot be one off. It has to be nirantar. It has to be a dirgha kala. That's for a long time. and regular. So regular, long time, kind of forever. So make that as a vrata, and you can worship that planet, or the day, any deity that you want to worship for that day. Hindus, it's very easy. For example, if it's a Monday, they can worship Shiva. If Monday is their, if Som is their moon sign, falls on a Monday, then it can be Shiva. Tuesday can be Ganesh or Devi. Wednesday can be Vishnuji. Thursday can be Guru, Brihaspati or Dattatreya. Friday can be Devi again. Saturday, of course, Lord Shani or Hanumanji. And Sunday can be Surya or Ravi. But you can start a vrata based on your moon sign or sun sign, or based on your ascendant. I think that is the best way to do it, and follow it through. Not like one off. I think following through, it can be small step. It can be just kind of skipping lunch and breakfast and just having dinner, or skipping one meal, or eating just fruits throughout the day. But you can start it that way and then improve yourself. See how your body speaks to you, and improve yourself. So I think that is how one can do, and that is how vratas used to be done in the ancient time. And then vratas were followed by Hindus, by Sanatanis, by going to the temple for that day. So if somebody is doing a vrata on Tuesday, he or she would go to a Ganesh temple that evening to break the vrata, or to take the darshan, or to please the god, with the fasting already happening throughout the day. Or if it is a Wednesday, Krishna temple or a Vishnu temple. So that is how it used to be done, and that is how one needs to do it. If it's a Hindu, it's easier. If it is a non-Hindu, non-follower of Hinduism, if it's a Christian, for example, I mean, you have a mass on Sundays. People go for mass. Make that as your vrata. Don't eat that day. Make that as your day of fast. Eat only in the evening, or just have dinner. The whole day you will go to mass. You will seek blessings from the church, and then skip your breakfast, lunch, and just have dinner. That can be your starting point of a vrata, for Jesus. Similarly, other faiths, whatever they follow.
You know, the fasting is done for a live person. So Soma we already see. He ascends, descends, waxes, wanes.
Yeah.
And sun we always see alive. Comes, all the nakshatra planets, they come, they travel. We see them.
Mm.
Pole star always common, always standard. So what you suggest is so practical. So do fasting, like she said, on live things like Surya, Chandra. Surya means sun or soul in South American, Spanish language, not Mesoamerican.
Yes.
So, and Monday is called Luna in Mesoamerican language. So people do fasting for Luna, fasting for soul, fasting for stars, because these are live objects which you see everywhere. So you have some motivation. And also you can do fasting for wind and various different things which you can feel, nature. These are live. Instead of having any dogmatic symbols, no fasting on animals. No, I mean, animals you can do fasting, but you don't want to develop qualities like animals. So you're already suffering. So that you do like this, so that it's very practical. And what do you suggest on the misadvice, bad advice of many doctors? Eat breakfast every morning, because most of they say eat heavy lunch, heavy breakfast, very heavy breakfast. And my body is not designed for that. So when I eat heavy breakfast, then whole day I'm sluggish. I cannot do it. My optimum time of having a good lunch is noon time. That is the best time for me, for myself. I don't know. And you all have to see your body cycles. So, and the doctors, they force you 8 glasses of water, 10 glasses of water, and which is totally against Ayurveda principle. Ayurveda principle says you drink as much you're thirsty, because body is going to tell you. Sometimes I drink 20 bottles of water, sometimes, but that is rare, very rare. Extreme heat or dryness, then I drink. But if body doesn't need, so what do you say all these bad advices given by the doctors? Sometimes they say milk is good, sometimes they say yogurt is good, sometimes they keep changing. Oh, now today the milk is good. And so they're programming a person to follow an institutionalized advice. So what do you suggest to these people? So don't get carried away by your doctors. You
Yeah.
follow them when you need them.
Yeah, so conditioning, you know what? We all have become servants of being conditioned by doctors, by society, in our workplace. Oh, no, you're not having breakfast. Oh, you're not having coffee. Coffee, I see so much of coffee addiction. You know, the people get up in the morning, especially here in America, they need a glass of coffee first, you know. So, Aditya ji, if you remember, while growing up, we never had this concept of breakfast. At least I did not have. I asked a few people like me, you know, our similar circumstances
Oh,
background. There was no concept of
you know,
breakfast.
while growing up, we were having breakfast only after the Bhagavatam class.
Ha. So basically, though one has to now, body has become so conditioned that body is going to demand something at 7 because now all these years people have been eating breakfast. But honestly, eating and drinking should be only done if the body demands. If you're thirsty and not mind, okay, there is a difference. But actually, that hunger has to be felt from the stomach or the throat, they say. That is actually when you're hungry. But today, because the body is used to eating at 7 in the morning, it is going to demand. And you, oh no, my body is demanding, so I need to eat. No. Uh, there is this Dr. Dikshit only said the person who eats 3 times in a day is a rogi. That is, he has a lot of diseases. A person who eats twice a day is a bhogi. That means he likes to indulge. And a person who eats once a day is a yogi. Actually, our at least the Hindu Sanatan scriptures say that you don't need to eat more than once a day. That is actually when the body, and you see a lot of, as you gave reference to so many acharyas and maharshis, they used to eat only once a day. And what was their meal was fruits. Meal was what was, so go as close to nature as possible, uh, 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 and as away from animals and animal. Of course, it's very easy for me to say don't eat non-veg because I am a pure vegetarian. Or but it is as difficult for me like not to eat, for example, yogurt or buttermilk. For me, not eating is difficult. It is similar to people who are eating non-vegetarians to tell them, you know, stop eating non-veg. But the crux is to go as close to nature, as close to natural fruit and vegetable, and as far away from animals and animal products. That is what I have read in our Ayurveda also. Not to say that sometimes some animal product will be good as a medicine. That is fine. Suppose, you know, remember when somebody had a constipation problem back, you know, back those days, ghee used to be given with milk in the night. So that, you know, that, so to that extent, eating animal products is fine. But that is what, at least the texts say, that go away as much as possible from animal and animal products and come closer to nature, fruits, vegetables as much as possible. So that is one thing one can consciously try to do as much as possible in one's life. Of course, given the fact that we are working, traveling, whatever is easily possible, one needs to do. Uh, but for me, the 36-hour water fast is critical, and it can be a defining moment for a lot of people because that actually strengthens your mind. That has told you, that has enabled you, that gives it's empowering, you know. It's empowering when you know that you don't need, tomorrow when I get up, if I don't have any food for the next 30, it's fine. I'm not going to die. Nothing, my life will continue the way it is. I can run. I can do my aerobics on the fast day. I can do my reading, my office work now. Nothing stops. So that is so empowering. That gives you so much strength, you know, mental strength. So in that sense, that taught me a lot. The 36-hour water fast taught me a lot. But yes, to your main question as to doctors, try not to get conditioned. It's better you read. See, it's a vicious cycle. Have your breakfast because you need to have a tablet. Because you need to have a tablet, you need, but why I need to have a tablet? Try to get rid of that tablet. Try to reverse your condition by going through healthier lifestyle. You know, lifestyle. Of course, exercise is important, but I would say it is 80% diet and 20% exercise. What a proper diet will give you, a proper nutrition will give you, exercise will take a long time to come to that stage. So in fact, at 30, when I do a, suppose I run for an hour, what my body feels is what I feel after I do a 36-hour water fast. That
So,
is what is the power of fasting.
Ashwini ji, amazing insights you have shared. And Abhi Paramatma ka voice I have got. So we should do a Yoga Sutra show every day. And because a
Okay.
lot of people need it. So Ashwini ji is on the East Coast and I'm on the West Coast. And probably she's going to go far east. I'm not hinting anything, but I'm just hinting also. So but still we're going to be the East-West show we can do and to educate people because I want people to come out because we already are running a Yoga Sutra certification course
Okay.
and we can do a show where you can see different perspectives on Yoga Sutra because we need to bring yoga back and compliant with Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. That's he's the father. And Yatra Yogeshwar Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanudhara Tatra Shri Vijay Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. So Yogeshwar, Yoga Ishwar is there also. The god of yogis is also there. And there is another Adi Yogi, another who exists. So we need to bring that back. And also con- all this fasting, natural way of life, living from the land, vegetarian lifestyle, not ism, is vegetarian lifestyle. These are all connected to intrinsic yoga principles and including great fasting because when you follow Yoga Sutra, then you will never be scared of yoga of fasting because then your fasting becomes vrata, Ishwar Pranidhan. And then it's a very powerful medium, very powerful. You can unlock your mind, unlock your brain, control your senses. You don't have to unlock the senses, control your senses. And we will also solve major problems of American society like gun violence, homelessness, and other societal problems which are plaguing America today with a completely consumeristic lifestyles. And also, there are some congressmen who watch our show regularly, especially the English ones. My advice to you is introduce yoga as an important element in the American Congress because it is a need of the hour, and India has already started the International Yoga Day, which is celebrated by the UN actually, not by India. And so we need to make 21st June as the day where we take a resolve to have the American society follow these commonsensical principles. So with that, I'll stop here. And Ashwini, you want to add anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you for having me. And Jai Jagdamba,
Jai
Jai
Jagdamb.
Jagannath,
Jai Jagdamb.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagdamb. Thank you all for joining. Namaste and have a wonderful day.